I truly believe my husband was only irritated, not shattered, not finished, just bothered in a way that would pass after a few quiet days, maybe an apology, and a long conversation at the kitchen table. I never imagined that what I was about to see wasn't anger at all. It was something far deeper. It was acceptance. And the second he thanked me and turned to leave, I understood how completely I had misunderstood everything. It happened on a completely ordinary evening, which somehow made it feel worse. There was no yelling, no dramatic reveal, just a typical weekday after work. I got home late again, not for any serious reason, just drinks with colleagues that stretched into another round. It didn't seem like a big deal to me. It never had before. When I stepped inside, my husband, Noah, was sitting on the couch. The television was on, but his eyes weren't on it. He looked worn out, not angry. That actually put me at ease. "Hey," I said lightly, dropping my bag. "Sorry I'm late." He gave a small nod. I figured. That was all. No questions. No sarcasm. No sharp tone. I reassured myself.
See?
He's just a little irritated. I headed into the kitchen, poured myself some water, and kept talking as if everything was completely normal. I told him about my day, shared a funny moment from the bar, mentioned how one of my coworkers had embarrassed herself dancing. He listened, but something about it felt off. Usually he would cut in, ask things, smile, maybe joke with me. That night, he remained still, hands clasped together, expression calm.
Too calm.
Eventually, I asked, "Are you okay? You're really quiet." He looked at me and replied, "I'm listening." That should have been my first sign. I sat down across from him, suddenly feeling defensive. "If this is about me going out again, I already told you it's not a big deal." He nodded once more. "You're right." That response caught me off guard. Normally, this was where things escalated. He would say he felt overlooked, I would say he was making too much of it, and we'd go in circles until one of us gave in. But not this time. "I just don't want you upset," I added, trying to keep things under control. "I'm not upset," he said. There was something final in the way he said it that made my chest feel tight. I leaned back, folding my arms. "Then what is this?" He stayed quiet for a moment, then slowly got to his feet. There was no drama in the movement, just calm certainty, like he already knew what he was about to do. He walked into the bedroom. Annoyed now, I followed him. "Can you at least tell me what's going on?" I snapped. "You're acting strange." He opened the closet and pulled out a small suitcase. My annoyance shifted instantly into confusion. "What are you doing?" I asked, letting out a small laugh. "You're not actually leaving. You're just upset." He didn't respond. He began folding his clothes carefully, his hands steady. The laugh faded from my lips. "Noah," I said more firmly, "stop. This isn't funny." He paused and finally looked at me. And that's when I saw it. Not anger, not sadness.
Clarity.
"I've been struggling with this for a long time," he said calmly. Tonight just made everything clear. My heart started pounding. Clear about what? He partially zipped the suitcase, then stopped. His gaze softened in a way that felt unfamiliar. "I've been asking for respect in ways you don't seem to hear," he said. "And I'm tired of having to explain it." I tried to push back. "I never said I didn't care. I just—" He gently lifted his hand to stop me. "I know. And that's exactly the issue." My throat tightened. "So, what? You're just going to leave because I stayed out late?" He shook his head slowly.
"No.
I'm leaving because every time I tell you how I feel, you dismiss it like it doesn't matter." I opened my mouth to defend myself, but no words came. He went on. "You don't betray me.
You don't yell.
You don't insult me. But you keep choosing everything else over me, again and again. That hurt more than any accusation." "I thought you understood," he continued. "But tonight, something became clear." "What?" I asked softly. He gave a faint smile, not one of happiness, but of exhaustion. "You're not intentionally hurtful," he said. "You just don't try. And I deserve to stop trying too." Panic surged through me. "You're overreacting. You're just upset. We can talk about this tomorrow." Then he did something I'll never forget. He looked straight at me and said, "Thank you." I blinked, confused. "For what?" "For showing me who you really are," he said quietly. It made my decision easier. My chest felt empty. "Noah, please." He picked up the suitcase and walked toward the door. I followed him, my voice breaking. "You're really leaving?" Just like that. He paused at the doorway and turned to face me one last time. "I didn't leave tonight," he said gently. "I left a long time ago. You're only noticing now." Then he stepped closer, pressed a soft kiss to my forehead, and spoke the words that ended everything. "Take care." And then he walked out. No yelling. No slammed doors. No dramatic goodbye. Just the quiet click of the door closing behind him. I stood there, frozen, staring at the empty space he had just left. It took hours for the truth to settle in. He didn't walk away because he was upset. He walked away because he had already mourned us. And I didn't see it sooner because I confused patience with weakness and silence with forgiveness. By the time I finally understood the difference, he was already gone.